Iwo Jima, 1945. The hell of a volcano and the birth of a legend. February 1945. The war against Japan is drawing to a close, but no one yet knows how brutal the road to victory will be. A small dot appeared on the map of the Pacific Ocean, a piece of land only 8 kilometers long, black volcanic rock amid the raging waves. Iwo Jima. For the Americans, it was the key to invading Japan. For the Japanese, it was a symbol of resistance, a frontier that could not be surrendered. Not at the cost of 10,000 lives, nor at the cost of the future state. Background: why Iwo Jima became target number one. In the fall of 1944, American B-29 bombers began striking Japanese cities. But their flights covered enormous distances, thousands of kilometers from the Mariana Islands. Iwo Jima was right in the middle. Japanese fighters took off from its airfields and shot down B-29s. Japanese radar stations warned Tokyo of approaching bombers. And capturing the island would allow the creation of a base for emergency landings. For the US, it was a strategic necessity. Defending Iwo Jima was a matter of death, not life. The commander of the defense, General Tadamichi Kuribayashi, was a brilliant officer. He understood that it was impossible to defeat the US, but it was possible to make them pay such a price that it would damage their morale. He rejected the usual Japanese tactic of suicidal banzai attacks. Instead, he turned the island into a veritable underground fortress. Iwo Jima was riddled with 18 kilometers of tunnel, dozens of hidden pillboxes, firing points, underground barracks, and artillery positions with almost invisible exits. American intelligence underestimated the threat. They believed that the garrison numbered about 12 to 13,000. In reality, there were more than 21,000 Japanese soldiers on the island, ready to die but not retreat. February 19, 1945, the beginning of hell. The morning greeted the Americans with a cold gray sky. There were 70,000 Marines on board the ships, 3 divisions of the U.S. Marine Corps. It was the largest amphibious operation carried out by the Marines in the Pacific. After 3 days of bombing, it seemed that the island had been reduced to dust. That's what the Americans thought. Kuribayashi knew better, his troops were simply sitting underground. When the landing craft approached the shore, the Marines saw a strange sight: the Japanese were silent. Not a single shot was fired. Thousands of Americans landed on beaches of volcanic sand. This black sand, sticky, loose, viscous, became their first enemy. Tanks got stuck, people sank knee-deep. And then the Japanese struck. From underground, from invisible holes, from flanking positions, from Mount Suribachi, in an instant, the beaches turned into a furious barrage of fire, becoming a hell where there was no shelter. In the first hours of the battle, thousands of Marines were killed and wounded. The battle for Mount Suribachi. The southern part of the island was crowned by the volcanic Mount Suribachi, a 170-meter giant with a network of tunnels. From there, the Japanese fired at the beaches and prevented the Americans from advancing. On February 23, soldiers of the 28th Regiment climbed the steep slopes under fire. Those few hours became one of the most difficult mountain attacks of the war. At the top, amid smoke, debris, the smell of sulfur and death, the Marines hoisted a small U.S. flag. From the ships below, sailors began to sound their sirens, shout, and whistle. For the first time in 5 days, someone saw a symbol of hope. The commanders decided to raise a second, larger flag so that the entire army could see it. And at that moment, a legend was born. Photographer Joe Rosenthal took a picture that would become one of the most famous photographs in human history: the raising of the flag over Suribachi. This image became a symbol of American determination, unity, sacrifice, and victory. But the war on Iwo Jima was far from over. Then it only got worse. The central and northern parts of the island, the Motoyama and highland areas, were a veritable labyrinth. Every meter had to be fought for. The Japanese emerged from tunnels behind them. Firing points opened up where they were not expected. Night attacks turned the scorching volcano into a nightmare. The heat in the underground passages reached 50 degrees. Corpses, smoke, acrid fumes, blood, everything mixed together in one horrific picture. The most dangerous weapons of the Japanese were not only machine guns and mines, but also the tunnels themselves. Weeks of fighting were spent navigating their intricate network. Simply moving forward became torture. With fire, grenades, and flamethrowers, the Americans made their way through this black web. The heroes of Iwo Jima. More Marines received the Medal of Honor on this island than in any other battle in U.S. history. Young men, many of them 18 to 20 years old, did the impossible. They pulled their comrades out from under fire. They covered exploding grenades with their bodies, advancing despite their wounds, destroying entire positions with a single flamethrower to open the way for their comrades. Iwo Jima became a place of superhuman courage. Kuribayashi's last order. When his forces were running out and his positions were falling one after another, General Kuribayashi sent his last message to Tokyo. "We fought honestly and to the end. We have run out of bullets. We are dying for the Emperor." He and his staff went into a final, futile hand-to-hand combat. His body was never found. The island was taken, but at what cost? On March 26, 1945, Iwo Jima was officially declared taken. The operation lasted 36 days. The losses were horrific. USA, about 26,000 killed and wounded. Japan, more than 21,000 killed, only about 200 captured. 70% of all American B-29 aircraft that crashed into the ocean were later able to land on Iwo Jima. The island saved thousands of lives after it was captured. Iwo Jima, a symbol that lives on. The raising of the flag on Kuribayashi became more than just a photograph. It is an image of resilience. An image of sacrifice. An image of a country that went through fire for the sake of peace. Iwo Jima became a symbol of unbreakable will. Brotherhood of soldiers. The pain of war. Memories that must not be forgotten. 13 square kilometers of black volcanic rock became one of the most sacred places for the U.S. Marine Corps. And today? Every year, Marines retrace the route to the top of Kuribayashi. Not for victory. For remembrance. Because Iwo Jima is not just a battle. It is a story about the price of freedom.